Hello, everyone, and welcome to part one in a series of teachings that I've titled Islam, False Claims of a False Religion. So very important today when we're looking at end-time Bible prophecy and how Islam is playing a very, very important role in the end times. I want to begin this teaching by saying that I do not hate and I do not dislike the Muslim people, that I truly believe that the majority of Muslims are good people that are stuck or trapped in a false religion. And we have to have an understanding of how Yahweh feels about false religions, such as the worship of Baal and the golden calf, and how in the New Testament the Apostle Paul spoke out against anyone that brings about another gospel or preaches another Jesus. One of the false claims, one of the very first false claims of Islam is that Muhammad is a prophet of God. Now, Muhammad, in fact, is not. I repeat, Muhammad is not and was not a prophet of God. He was a man of violence, and he spread Islam with violence and forced conversions. Let's get a little history and a little background on Muhammad. Now, I want to make this clear that I have put a lot of time, a lot of research, and I will be using historical fact, historical data, and writings of the time of Muhammad. I have collaborated with fellow Bible scholars and theologians and apologists to put together this very important teaching. Now let's get a little background on who Muhammad really was. Muhammad was born in Mecca. You may want to get a notebook and keep notes throughout this teaching. So once again, Muhammad was born in Mecca, Saudi Arabia, in 570 A.D. Muhammad was orphaned at a young age in 576 A.D. Now, in 595 A.D., he got married to Khadijah, who was an older but wealthy widow. Now, here we go. I want you to pay close attention to this point. In 610 A.D., Muhammad claims that he received his first revelations from an angelic being or from an angel. That was in 610 A.D. And at this time, he was the age of 40. Now, in 622, Muhammad immigrates to Medina. In 630 A.D., Muhammad conquers Mecca by surprise along with other tribes. And very important in this teaching, because today we're taking a look at Muhammad, and one of the claims of Islam that Muhammad is a prophet of God. He is certainly not a prophet of God. He is not a prophet of Yahweh. He was a man of violence and forced conversions, and this is very important. In 632 A.D., Muhammad died. Muhammad died in 632 A.D. Well, many may ask, how are you getting all of this information? And let me explain. The name that I am going to present to you is going to play a very important part in the history of not only Muhammad, but of Islam. The name Ibn Ishaq. I want you to remember that and write it down. Ibn Ishaq. Okay. Now, Ibn Ishaq, he lived from the years 704 AD to 770 AD. He is Islam's very first and most respected scholar and Muhammad biographer. Islam's very first and most respected to this day Islamic scholar, and he is a Muhammad biographer, and to this very day ladies and gentlemen. This very year, this moment in time, they do not dispute the teachings or the writings or the claims of their very first scholar and Muhammad biographer, Ibn Ishaq. Stay tuned for part 2. I don't want to do too long of each segment. I want to keep your focus and I want to keep your attention. So I don't want to do 10, 15, 30-minute segments. I want you to try to take this in and keep notes, go back and keep notes as we continue on in part 2 coming up of Islam, false claims of a false religion.